17. Creating a diversion. July 1st, 2018. Tanet's volunteer work at Sai Tong mostly keeps him away from the bustle of base camp, but on July 1st, he makes his way into the chaotic swarm. He is looking for a guy the locals call the caveman, Vern Unsworth. The pumps at the cave mouth and down at Sai Tong are churning full blast, but as long as water is still pouring into the cave at a high rate, diving remains dangerous. Tanet wants to figure out where the water is coming from and stop it. The caveman turns out to be the perfect person to ask. Vern explains to Tanet that if they want to improve the diving conditions, they need to focus on the lowest part of the cave, the junction at Samyak. If they can stop some of the water from flowing in there, the pumps will be more effective. Most of the water that dumps into Samyak comes from the cave's northern branch, Monk Series. The last time Vern went to Tamluang to work on his survey for Monk Series, he discovered several inlets where water entered that section of the cave. The water that comes in there is warm and relatively clear. This means that unlike the colder water that flows in from the unknown underground sources in the south, the water in Monk Series pours straight into the system from the surface. Vern suggests that Tanet start there. The next day, Colonel Singhanat's team remains at Sai Tong to continue with a super pumping, while Tanet goes with a smaller unit of 50 soldiers and local guides to survey the area above Monk Series. The road curls around the mountain, leading to the small village of Pa Mi. Tanet has located a creek where he wants to start working, but the roads leading to it are too slippery, and his team's trucks nearly careen off the cliff. With no other choice, Tanet and his crew climb out of the trucks and start hiking into the forest. The group hacks its way through the thick vegetation, following streams over slippery round boulders, lugging heavy supplies with them on their backs. The local volunteers show them to several streams running swiftly from the recent rains. Geologists at Tamluang have explained that as the streams run across the top of the mountain, some of the water they carry sinks down into porous limestone underneath. Tanet can see with his own eyes where some streams seem to disappear entirely, dumping into a sinkhole in the ground. On the first day, they find 17 sinkholes. If they want to lower the water inside the cave, they have to tackle these spots first. The way they do it is a feat that would impress even Hercules. Using bamboo poles, ropes, and plastic sheeting, the team creates a barrier between the stream and the mountain so that no water will soak into the stone below. They call these barriers diversion structures because they divert water away so it won't enter the cave. The structure looks a bit like a homemade slip and slide. Water travels down the slip and slide, running away from the sinkholes to another part of the mountain where they hope it won't drain into the cave. In places where streams join and form waterfalls, the slip and slide method doesn't work, so the group brings in long plastic pipes, carrying them on their shoulders through the jungle. Water pours into their galoshes as they stand in the streams, working together to get the pipes in place, where they will divert the water away from the sinkholes. The team also builds dams using bamboo, rocks, and bags filled with sand and gravel that they dig out of the stream. At first, the people down in base camp are so focused on drilling and searching for alternative entrances that few are even aware of what Tanet and his crew are doing. Tanet wishes they had better quality supplies, like proper PVC pipes and high-tech sandbags that fill up with quick-forming concrete as soon as you add water, but they just have to make do with what they've got. When they can't get pipes, they slice open bamboo poles. When they don't have ropes, they use vines as lashings. The villagers in Pami help by calling for any extra supplies and volunteers that can be spared. It's not until a camera crew from a news station interviews a mud-caked Tanet that his team finally gets the good equipment they need. Starting on July 2nd and continuing throughout the duration of the mission, Tanet and his team carry on with this exhausting and dangerous work from morning until far past dark. Crews get lost in the black jungle trying to get back to their trucks in the middle of the night. Sprained ankles, pulled muscles, dehydration, bruises, and fungus-covered feet are frequent occurrences. Every day, the medical tent at base camp attends to an injured rescue worker who has hobbled down from the mountain. But the workers' sacrifices will not be for nothing. Every inch they can lower the water levels inside Tamluang will make it easier on the divers. And with the window for rescuing the boys growing shorter, the divers will take all the help they can get.